You know, I feel like I remember I used to be able to crack my neck a little bit better than that. Hello and welcome to the Hafey Digital Podcast pre-show, behind the scenes. This is the part of the show where we kind of get ready for the actual show. This is the part you won't hear in the audio version of the podcast. This is where I go through and do all my systems checks and just make sure that everything is up and running. Checking my audio, checking all my levels. Lighting looks good. Check the camera angles. Go make sure that everything is up and running on the other channels such as Facebook and Twitter. Facebook is up and running. Twitter, excuse me, is also up and running, it appears. Let's check YouTube, make sure we're good there. We should be, considering we are live everywhere else. And yes, it appears as though, come on. Oh, there we go. All right, good. Good on YouTube. Audio is up. I'm going to go ahead and start recording on the Rodecaster now. We are recording and streaming there. OBS, let's see, drop frames. No drop frames, which is good. We were doing like 330 megabits up. Yeah, 320 megabits upload speeds when I did the speed test before the show today. That's fantastic. Let's check our camera angles here. Camera 2, camera 3. Hello, hello, hello. All right, good there. I've got the web page pulled up today that we're going to need. Good. I've got the chat pulled up. I've got Evernote pulled up. Got my drone here. We're going to talk about that a little bit as well. And, okay. We good? Let's check our, we got to pot up our sound effects there. Very nice. I do want to test the intro real quick. This is just a test. Okay, good. So what I've noticed is I've got to turn my levels. I've started recording. I figured out how to get everything recorded into Rodecaster, including everything that I initiate from this Elgato Stream Deck, which I doubt you can see, but it's this little thing with a bunch of buttons on it, which I use to, initiate certain things within the stream. This is mostly off camera. But before I wasn't able to record some of that audio into the Rodecaster, and I figured out what that was. I forget what it was already that I changed, but I figured it out. So now everything going in here. Problem is, if I turn my headphones up too high and turn the input or the output volume too low, then let's say when I press the intro button to do the intro, the audio is too quiet in the recording, and then it just sounds a little weird. So had to kind of fine tune that a little bit, but it seems to be working. I think we're good. All right. Today is episode number 73, and I'm going to kick off my slippers there. Get comfy. Man, it's windy today, by the way, in Las Vegas. Windy and warm. All right, but yeah, I think we're ready to go. Episode 73. Let's do this. Hello, and welcome to episode number 73 of the Hafey Digital Podcast, a show for creators, makers, and doers. My goal is to help you make to the max. My name is Ryan, and in this episode, I'm going to go back through and react to some of my old YouTube videos. Get ready for some cringe. Let's do it. Hello, welcome to the show. I need to set up a button to turn desktop audio on and off, and I'm surprised actually that I don't have that already put into place, but I don't. But we will be looking through some of my old YouTube content today, so got to turn desktop audio on. You know what I mean? Oh, well, thanks for being here. It is Sunday, April the 25th, and if you are new here, I talk about all things related to creativity, really. I do a lot of photography, video work, podcasting, live streaming, obviously, some FPV stuff, which we'll actually talk a little bit about today. And this podcast is kind of my my creative playground. This is my creative control center you see here, and this is kind of just where I document my progress through some of the different projects that I happen to be working on at any given time. So if you're into any of those things I just mentioned, it'd be great if you'd hit that subscribe button wherever you happen to be watching or listening. Also, follow me on social media at Ryan Hafey on Instagram and Twitter, and feel free to shoot me a note after the show. Let me know what you thought, or just ask a question, or just say what's up. I'm always happy to hear from people. And by the way, if you are a listener of this podcast, and if you have been for a while, or even if you just started and you like what you see, it would be awesome if you go to iTunes and just give me a rating. It doesn't have to be a good rating. Just give me an honest rating of what you thought of the show. You know, I'm 73 episodes in. I've been doing this for over a year now, and I don't expect anything from anyone. But you know, if I provided you some value, all I would ask in return is that you go and just give me a good review. It helps the show. You know, I think we're at the point now where we've hit kind of a threshold where I think we'll start to see a little bit more growth, hopefully, as long as I stay consistent with this. We've already surpassed, I'm already starting to see an increase in the amount of subscribers. We were kind of hovering right around 100 for a little while. Now it's slowly starting to creep up, which is usually an indication that, at least on YouTube thinks that I'm doing something right, or at the very least, I'm staying consistent. So I'm hoping that we're now at the point where the podcast can start to grow a little bit, and that's kind of cool if you ask me. So here we are. Anyway, man. So yeah, the subject for today's video is I'm going to be going through and reacting to some of the old videos on my main YouTube channel. And some of those videos go back 3 years. And I'm just going to kind of go through, pick a few that I remember, maybe a few that I don't, and give my reaction to, we won't watch them all the way through, but I do want to critique a little bit the way that I did things in the past, and talk a little bit about what I would do differently if I was doing them now. And part of the reason that's the subject for today's show, if I'm being completely honest, is that this last week has just been a whirlwind. It's been very busy. We've got, on the day job side, we've got a big fight coming up a week from yesterday, Saturday, May 1st. And that is Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola on Fox Sports pay-per-view. Should be a fun fight. But starting Tuesday, I will be traveling to Los Angeles, where I will be back in the bubble. And for anyone who may have missed the episode I talked about how the bubble works, or if you're just curious at all, man, it's crazy. I mean, I'm fully vaccinated at this point, and I'm hoping that in the months to come, they'll kind of relax some of these restrictions at some of these events. But for right now, it's still a matter of, they still have all the COVID precautions in place, which means that before I travel to the hotel, I have to get COVID tested. I got a COVID test on Friday. I actually do it over FaceTime with a kit. You do the test yourself. The doctor talks you through it. You package it up. You send it via FedEx, and you get your results back in 2 days. So I did that, and then when I get to the hotel, I've got to test again, and then quarantine until I get those results back. So I'll get there Tuesday. I'll test Tuesday evening, and then Wednesday is when Fight Week festivities begin. So we will have a press conference on Wednesday, Thursday. What is Thursday? I have to double check and see what's going on Thursday. Friday's obviously the weigh-in, Saturday being fight night. And for the entire time that you are there, you are not allowed to leave the hotel because you are in the bubble. Anytime you go to an approved location within the hotel, because they mark off like an entire floor for you, and then an entire floor for hotel rooms for whoever's on the crew. So if you want to go downstairs to eat lunch at your approved time, at least at the last place, you had to pick up the phone, you had to call security, you would let them know that you need to come downstairs. Someone would come up the elevator to you, get you, bring you down. When you get to the floor that you need to go to, you have to scan a barcode that's on a bracelet that they put on your wrist when you arrive at the hotel. You go have your lunch, do whatever. You scan back in, and then someone takes you back up to your floor where you go and just hang out again in your room forever. You can't leave at the hotel. You can't go outside. Typically when I'm there, depending on the size of the hotel room, I might try to get in a couple workouts during the week. Other than that, whenever I have free time, I literally just put my headphones in and I walk up and down the aisle in the hotel just to get some exercise. You can't go to the gym. It's a bit rough, but you know, I mean, I get why they do it. Yeah, it would just be nice if it could not be that way in in the next few months, because it sort of sucks the fun out of fight week. It sort of sucks the energy out of it. I mean, the energy comes back pretty easily at night. And this is going to be an event with fans, which will be cool. But yeah, I just it's not fun to hang out in a hotel room for 5 days or whatever it's going to be. But that's all right. Do what we got to do to get the job done. So anyway, that's been a reason why it's just I've had no time to give a ton of thought into subject matter for this episode. So I'm going to go back and react to my old videos, which are already living on the internet, and it's easy for me to just kind of go back and do that. But it'll be fun. We'll have a good time. Next thing, mentioned this last week. This was kind of my birthday present to myself. This is the iFlight Protek25. There's a slightly larger version of this drone called the Protek25, which I contemplated. But what I really wanted was a drone that is bigger, because I've showed that little tiny handheld one from Beta FPV. And that one's fun to fly. But I wanted something a little bit bigger that I could also fly indoors, but then take outside if I wanted to. And this seemed like a good solution. So, and let me actually pull this up here. There it is. Where's my mouse? There we go. So let's go here. Cool. So this is, and the cool thing about this, now that it's up and running, and the reason I was delayed because I didn't have the batteries for this yet. And actually I ordered batteries, but they ended up being the wrong ones. So I had to return those and wait for the new ones, blah, blah, blah. But this is, I'll show you. But this is some footage of me just flying through the house with the drone. And it looks a lot clearer than before, because now this thing is outfitted with the DJI FPV system. So I don't have to use a separate set of goggles. I can use my DJI goggles and DJI remote control, and that gives me an HD. It gives me HD video as I'm flying, and also records in HD. So I don't have any of that crazy analog nonsense going on. But this is me very, very carefully. See, I just bumped the floor there. But this is me very carefully flying through my house, stressed as all heck, because it's stressful, especially something like this, flying around the house. Now, to be fair, this does have some bumpers on the side of it, and it helps to protect. You can kind of, you can kind of see the bumpers there. It's like a little soft foam, so if it bumps into things, and obviously the props are only, they're 2.5-inch props, so, but it's a nice little drone. At some point, I need to get a naked GoPro, which means a GoPro minus all the guts, so I can mount it on here, because I believe that a regular GoPro is going to be too much for this thing to handle. But so anyway, this recording, I'm going to fast forward here, because I've already broken a prop on this drone, and which is fine. I mean, these props are super easy to change out and they're very inexpensive. But I captured the moment that I did that in this flight. Let's see, where is it? It's coming up at the end here. Okay, I think it's after this. Flying back. Oh, wait. At some point, I flew upstairs, didn't I? Oh, yeah. I flew up there. Say hello to my daughter, who was, for some reason, sitting at the... hit the gate. Sitting on the floor with a balloon. But, yeah, there you go. All right. Fast forward back to the end. And this is where the prop broke. Hit the couch, and then it just kind of, it seems like whenever, there we go, whenever, if you bump up to something too much, it does something to where, like, if you bump up to something and the drone kind of does one of these deals, the propellers just kick in at full blast for some reason. And it also did it at one point. I flew it into the ceiling And when the top of it hit the ceiling, it did that. And I had to disarm it, at which point it came down, just kind of crashing to the ground. But this time, I guess it hit the couch, sort of flipped up, and at some point, one of the propellers probably hit off the couch and a piece of it flew away, which is fine. I was able to pretty easily repair it. Luckily, when you buy the drone, it comes with an extra set of propellers. So we're back in business. Unfortunately, though, it's crazy windy outside today, so I won't be able to fly it. But this is the battery that it comes with. And the reason that I bought the wrong ones the first time is because this is an XT30 battery, which means that it has a smaller connector right there versus, and I didn't bring another battery for comparison, but it actually normally looks like that. So I had to buy these additional little cables here so that I can plug them into here, and so that this will now fit in my normal battery charger, and so I can actually charge these batteries because they are a little bit smaller than the ones that would go on my 5-inch drone. Anyway, that's I think enough FPV drone talk for today. So with that said, let's move on to the main topic here. We're going to talk about some old YouTube videos. So what I have here is my YouTube channel, sorted from oldest to newest. So we're going to start with the oldest video, and then I'll kind of scroll down. And actually looking at this, I guess I've done more than I thought. What I figured we'd do is look at some of my early videos, some of my underperforming videos, some memorable videos, and then, really just play it by ear, to be honest. So here we go. All right. First things first, I want to go back and look at this video here. So this is, I remember thinking when I was first starting the YouTube channel, I wanted to start strong. I wanted to do a tutorial that was very in-depth and based around something that was kind of popular at the time, which was like the speed ramp transition. I don't use a ton of speed ramp transitions anymore, but at the time it was a pretty popular transition. A lot of people still use it, but this was that video. Oop. Yeah, ads. Okay, good.
What's up, everybody? Ryan Hafey here with Hafey Digital, and welcome to my man cave.
Oh man, the workout room looks a little different. Look at my attempt at B-roll there. I used a little speed ramp transition in there. I had my computer up on my desk at the time. I don't even know this light that's reflecting off my PC case. I don't even know where that came from. This just looks so boring. I didn't have any of my sound panels. I didn't have any of my lighting underneath my shelves there. It just looks really
workout room, I guess you could say, and there's two
really
reasons
strange
why I decided to kind of combine the two. The first reason really just comes down to space.
And what am I drinking? Oh, it must be coffee.
I wanted an office.
Where's that? Oh, you know what? I think that mug broke. I liked that mug. I forgot about that mug. But anyway.
Do a few pull-ups.
Oh, that's right. So I thought I would film something.
Maybe skip a little bit of rope.
And then make a little example of what I was going to edit together. Okay. And I can already tell that I over sharpened some of this footage. And I think I attempted, you can kind of tell based on where the shadow is. I had some kind of light in front of me to the side. I don't even remember what kind of light I was working with back in the day, but the lighting situation in this, not that great. Oh, this is my old intro. Oh, that was like a mini intro I did, I think.
Before we jump into Premiere and I'll show you how to actually go in next. A lot of times panning shots.
So audio is bad.
The away from the subject and then into the subject from one clip to the next works really well. Or just shots where there's a lot of movement and you can kind of use some of that movement.
Yeah, audio is real bad. I didn't prioritize audio very much back then. And then I remember being pretty happy with this, although to date it's only got 366 views and it's an 18-minute video. If I would have done this differently again, I would have made this drastically shorter. No one wants to watch an 18-minute tutorial on something as simple as a speed ramp transition. But and just looking at like the beard hair, you can see how crazy over sharpened I made it. The color grade's not that great. You know, to be fair, this was 3 years ago. A little over 3 years ago, I guess at this point, April 10th, 2018. So, you know, I've learned a thing or two about color grading and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, all right, let's go back and look at another one. This one was actually kind of fun to make. So there was this thing that Peter McKinnon did called the PM B-roll challenge. And basically the challenge was just to make kind of a B-roll sequence that resembles that of something Peter McKinnon might do. So this was 2 years ago. And we were going to a little family party. It was May 26, 2018. So I thought it might be fun just to do a B-roll challenge based on my visit there. So let's go here.
But then Peter McKinnon posted this video to YouTube. Now,
strange angle.
His audience to
Let's get that out of the way.
A mundane location, but one single location. Bring your camera.
Once again, lighting, weird harsh lights, weird angle.
And I thought this was pretty cool, and I thought it was something
I have a what must be a birthday card or something in the background. It says "Farting is an art." So there's that box of tissues sitting on my shelf there, which is also something you love to see.
And have some fun with.
So I'm just kind of giving an intro here. I'm hunched over, not sure why I did that, and then watch this. Oh, let's jump in. Oh, that's kind of a cool transition, actually. So this was my full intro that I used to have. And I kind of like that intro. I think it was a little bit too long. It doesn't really fit, I guess, what I do now. And it's a little ambiguous as to what it's all about. I mean, there's camera stuff in there and everything, but yeah. Anyway, so let's watch through this here. PM B-roll challenge. Yeah. That was kind of, I'll give myself that. I liked that shot. That transition probably could have been better. That was kind of an odd shot also. This was like, oh yeah, I remember this being super short. It was okay. It was all right. 203 views to date on that one. Not fantastic by any means. Stop. There we go. All right, let's go back and find another one, shall we? Let's move down the list a little bit. Man. This is one of my more popular videos.
What's up, everybody? Ryan Hafey
kind of like this intro. It, you know, gets right to the point. You obviously know it's going to have to do with boxing or something related to that. But I've obviously been shooting boxing photography for a while, so I thought it would be good to do a video. And actually, I should probably do an update to this video because I have since learned some or changed some of the ways that I do some of the things when I shoot boxing. But I think it's still pretty informative. 6,300 views to date.
Anyway, so let's just jump into things. So in past videos, I've talked about how I work in boxing.
This is my intro.
Boxing photography.
So this is one thing that I have changed quite a bit from some of these old videos is I've shortened the intro. I've tried to focus really a lot more on getting to the point. Because a lot of what I do is tutorial content. I thought I was going to veer away from tutorial content for a little while, but then I just realized like I'm pretty decent at it. And I'm less decent at being a storyteller, and I don't think I'm that interesting. So I don't think a blog for longevity's sake would be a very good strategy for me. So I've sort of gone back to tutorials as of relatively recently, but I get to the point a little bit faster. So if you're going to YouTube and you're going to watch a tutorial, you don't give a crap about all the intro stuff. You just want to get to the meat of it. So yeah, that's what I would have done differently. Anyway, blah, 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 talking. It takes me up to, and I even called this a vlog for some reason. I wonder why I did that. Oh, this was part of Vlogist that I did in 2018, I think. Anyway, so
They can really be applied to any kind of sports photography.
Camera angle, a little weird. Oh, that's when I still had my Canon. Yeah, that's okay. I used to have a Canon. Let's go back here. I used to have a Canon 7D Mark II. It was a good camera, lasted me for a while, but when my video stuff started picking up a little bit more, I moved to Sony. Still got the computer on my desktop there. Camera angle's weird. That lighting, I think at this point I was using a light panel, which the lighting is not very good. It's not very diffused. But let's go through this here. I used to put a lot of effort into these.
That action, you don't want any motion blur. A little bit of motion
in
blur
that,
be okay and kind of give you the impression of movement.
let's see.
But typically, where
Like
maybe like
little accents, little sound effects, overlays, things like that.
There, but you don't want to overexpose too much
and then
you can't recover
I thought I did some little things that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just.
In my experience, I find that a Kelvin range of 3,400 to multiple shots at once, and you want to set it that.
So the information in this I think is good. Just aesthetically, it's not very pleasing. But it is what it is. All right, let's go. Let's find. Here's another one. Actually, I was working out at this guy's house today. He's got in his. He basically just has this backyard obstacle course with, sledgehammers and walls you got to climb over. All sorts of kind of just cool and fun stuff. That's Kurt. Buddy Kurt.
That's what I'm calling it.
Production on this was pretty good, although I will say, the music just kind of plays throughout. That's another thing that I've played a little bit more with is being a little bit more selective with the music that I use. In fact, in the YouTube shorts that I've made recently, I don't use music at all. I think my opinion on the use of music has changed. I think it needs to be more selective and needs to be more complementary versus just being kind of like a foundation, which is how I used to use it in the past, especially with this video. It's just always there. I think you have to give yourself some breaks from some of the music sometimes and not let it be the biggest part of the video. The music fits pretty well, but yeah, if you're just the whole thing is just consistent, like here's this exercise or here's that obstacle, here's how you do this one, and it's just that with just music in the background, like even if there's a lot going on, I think it gets to the point where it gets a little just monotonous and a little boring. But this one has 12,237 views to date. I'm going to show off some pull-ups there. Interestingly, I think I wore that same shirt over there today too. Huh. So this was a fun video. But the thing about this video is that there's really, it's not applicable to most of what I do on my channel. So it's earned me some subscribers and a decent amount of comments, but it's not super relevant to what I want to do. So I probably wouldn't make another video like that. This one was a fun one to make. Also, this was the Mavic 2 Pro has those like quick shots. So I thought I would make a tutorial talking about the quick shot features and how they work. Again, we're back to now, at least in this case, we're a little bit more dramatic with the lighting. Look at my attempt to put like I gotta bring it back here. I got a little tiny accent light that's back there, and I thought that was cool. I don't know why I put it there. It doesn't really do much but illuminate that tiny little space. I might have been better put on top of the thing, or maybe, I don't know, whatever. Either way, but lighting still needs some work. I don't have any of the cool accent lights I have in the background. Anyway, let's move forward.
That you can find in the basically they're predefined.
There's some phone screen recordings. Okay.
An object or a person, and these quick shots essentially allow you to capture cinematic style shots without having to use any of the manual controls. So if you're a beginning drone pilot and you're maybe not too But before you can get started,
only 2 dislikes on this one. I think this is a good tutorial, and this one is a little more evergreen. It's
pick a point of interest in the frame.
It's held up over time.
Is that you can actually change the distance that the drone travels away.
All right, I want to look at more. I want to get away from that. I want to look at more of. Oh, you know what? No, I lied. This was cool. I actually just want to watch this. So I used to do these videos called Life Without Context, which is really just, I like to do cool transitions and things like that. So I thought I would make a video. A series of videos. I think I ended up doing only 3 of them, but I called it Life Without Context, which is just really a series of non-contextual clips that I pieced together with some cool transitions. So let's see how I feel about the use of those transitions now. Let's go back to... Okay. Nice little whip pan there. Color grading could use some work. Eating lunch. Oh, I remember when I used to eat that like every week. My little aperture bracelet that I still have maybe somewhere. Oh, okay. Little screen transition. Focus was a little off when it got to the camera, but that was kind of a lazy transition there. Yeah. Now I'm in the garage. Okay. Coming home. Taking the shoes off. Saying hello to the family. And I remember I had to time this right.
What's up, guys? Ryan Hafey with Hafey Digital here. Very short video for you today. I've had this idea.
Okay. Those are fun to make. And there was actually, this whole time I was playing it there. You get the idea. Well, actually, let's go look at the other one. I had one other one. I had 2 others, but I remember the most recent one I did not being very good. So we're going to watch episode 2 here, and okay. Okay. Oh, a little masking there. Threw the hat to myself. Very nice. There's my wife. I had to direct her for that one. That was okay. That was I remember doing that at Walmart. I had to talk her into that one. Get some cheese. Oh, nope, cheese. No cheese. Oh, another screen transition. This was also funny. I told my wife to just take the camera, basically just stick it in my mouth. That was the only way I could do that. Anyway, all right. Randomly, let's watch a vlog video here. What time is it? Okay, this is when I changed my intro, which is a little bit more relevant. I actually don't mind that intro. I like my hair there. I need to grow my hair back out.
Let me know what you think about it. If you like it, leave a comment.
Camera angle has changed again. This time, so this is where I started to get into a red phase. Let's show you here. So this is where I got into a red phase where I have this light back behind me, this guy right there. And I used to, because I think at this point it looks like I've probably installed these sound panels, which are red. I started to embrace this whole red theme, I guess. And so I was like, okay, we'll just make everything red. But red, like especially with skin, like I have these accent lights that that run under my shelf, which are cool. But like this blue behind me is meant to kind of contrast with me a little bit, like, the orange and teal look, skin tones being on the orange side, whatever. But there are some videos I remember where I just used like so much red, and the red coming from this is such a harsh light that it wasn't diffused. It looked just ugly, but for whatever reason at the time, I thought it looked good. But this is, I can already tell this is one of those videos where I'm doing
Or do I focus
you know, where I
really hard
have
on
just
making
music
the
the
whole
entire time.
The interview I'm referring to on YouTube, he was on the creative on 3 months to make the best possible pot you can.
81 views. See, that's a thing with some of these vlogs.
Improve one single
it's just
product, which at a certain point is,
you know, unless you're like a Casey Neistat or something, having a vlog channel it's a little tough these days. It's tough to really break through. You got to be really entertaining or really informative or a combination or both. And you got to be really patient because, you know, a vlog, typically speaking, consists of a bunch of different topics or subject matter kind of blended into one. And when you know, so it's hard for people to search for these, for people to find vlogs easily. But I actually don't mind my presence on camera. My the color grade that I have here
it's not worth it anymore.
isn't terrible. Oh, that's kind of cool looking. Oh, look at that.
So taking a quick break from the quality versus
Okay.
quantity discussion.
That was kind of a cool little thing.
One single thing.
Let's watch that one more time. Whoa. Okay.
So taking a
Okay.
quick break from the quality versus quantity.
Okay. Oh, this was Stan Efferding. Good dude. Anyway. Okay. One more. And now we're going to go look at a recent one just to kind of see how the quality has changed. So this, well, I mean, obviously you're looking at me now, and this is my usual set when I record tutorials, but this is what we've changed to. Obviously I have no beard there, but better lighting. You can see much more soft and diffused lighting, a little bit more of the Rembrandt lighting, so it's a little bit darker on this side of my face. You've got the wider angle. I've changed the angle so that I can see the screen in its entirety. And that's helpful, I think, too, because I can put some overlays and you know, text over it and make it look like it's coming from the screen if I wanted to. I think the accent lights help draw a kind of a leading line, drawing your attention towards me. Obviously, you have the contrast of the teal light in the background. Got a new microphone, so you know that's different. But other than that, the only thing that's different in this that compared to what you see right now is, hey Google, turn off the hair light. There you go. So I have a hair light over there that I've installed on the wall. Hey Google, turn on the hair light. Hey Google, turn on the hair light. Oh, what? There we go. It turned on the workout. Hey Google, turn off workout light. There we go. There's just a regular light in the room that I turn on and off with it too. So yeah, in this video, I'm going to take you through. I'm definitely much happier with the way the lighting and just the aesthetic look is. And if I had to explain kind of how I've changed things over the last few years, and granted, I've not been as consistent as I would have liked to be. If I could go back, I would probably be much more consistent. But just my style on camera, I think this podcast has helped a lot with that as well. Just sort of being comfortable talking on camera. Aesthetically with the lighting, I'm telling you, like one of the biggest changes, actually, Robert, if you're watching, I'm going to mention you, Robert, from the Never Call Me Again podcast. He had an old set, and we were talking back and forth because he was interested in upgrading his studio, and he did it. And one of the things that he upgraded was his lighting setup, and he got not this exact video light, but another one from Godox with a big softbox. And if you go look at some of his past videos, it's a night and day difference between what he's working with now, which just looks super sleek and cool with some really dramatic, like awesome lighting, versus before, which is kind of some bland lighting. You know, he talked about how he used a desk made out of, I forget what it was, but it was basically just a pieced together desk. But he made it work. But, you know, just that little change with the lighting really spruced things up for him. So if you're going to invest in something, I would say start with lighting first. If you can, it doesn't really matter what kind of camera you have. If you've got a cheap, crappy camera, or not cheap and crappy, we'll just say maybe an older camera or one that doesn't have a ton of the bells and whistles that some of the new ones do, that's fine, because you can still get a super crisp and attractive looking image if you have proper lighting. So lighting, I would replace or add to your lighting setup before you change your camera, because the camera's also going to cost more than a nice big light like this. And like this thing here, I think I got it at IKEA for like $10. The smart light bulb that's screwed into it right now that allows me to change the colors was, I don't know, maybe $25. But long story short, if you invested $200 in lighting, and that includes like a softbox, like this here is like $135 plus the softbox, which I think was about $65, so about $200 for this light setup. This here, maybe another $50 to $250. You $250, get yourself some background lighting, and then get yourself a nice key light. You're gold. Save the camera upgrade for a little while. You don't need it. But so this was an interesting tutorial. This was back in November 2020, and then the most recent videos I have after that are all YouTube shorts, and these YouTube shorts have been fun to work on as well. So yeah. But anyway, you can just even looking through like the thumbnails, you can kind of see how things have progressed over time on the channel. What's my most popular video to date? Let's find out. Sort by most popular. Of course. So one of the videos I did was it's called "There's a Faster Way to Duplicate Clips in Premiere Pro." It's a tongue twister. It's from 2 years ago as part of my 31 days of tutorial series, where I posted a tutorial every day for 31 days. And it's literally just how you can, different ways that you can duplicate your clips in Premiere Pro. And apparently that struck a chord with people because it currently has 57,000 views and a whole bunch of upvotes. Oops, I don't want to watch. Later. Let's see, right now, yeah, 65 downvotes, 1,400 upvotes. And I still get comments all the time from people that are like, oh, thank you for this, whatever. So, and actually that whole 31 days of tutorial series, I think was the impetus of me sort of learning to condense down what I do, especially when I do tutorials, in that the point of that series was to present super easy, quick, short, and easy to digest tutorials in Premiere and with photography and all that kind of stuff. So that was fun. Well, anyway, I think that's good for today. Thanks for following me along. Following along as I went through some of my old content. It's always a little risky to do that because a lot of that old stuff is cringe. But you know what? I think it's important for everyone to go back through and take some time to see how far you've come. Like if you're working hard to get better at anything, sometimes you forget how much you've actually improved, or sometimes you don't even notice how much you've improved at something until you go back and look at what you used to do previously. I don't go back and look at my old work very often. I'm pretty consistent with just moving forward. I'm not that interested in staying in the past. I'm just like, okay, this is where I'm at now. This is where I want to be going forward. But like I said, sometimes the more you do that, like over time, you may feel as though you have not progressed a lot just like, when, if you see a friend that maybe gets a dog and then you see that friend a couple months later and that dog's massive, but to your friend, the dog's just a dog. They didn't really notice the growth, but you're like, wow, he's a lot bigger. So because, it's been a while since you've seen the dog. It's sort of the same thing when it comes to your work. You're constantly doing it. Therefore you don't always notice the progress. So that's my life tip for anyone still watching. And that is go back and look at how far you've come, and maybe it'll give you a little bit of a boost in motivation to continue down the path that you're currently on. Yeah, do that. But anyway, if you're still here with me and if you enjoyed what you saw today, it would be awesome if you would hit that subscribe button wherever you happen to be watching or listening. And be sure to follow me on social media at Ryan Hafey on Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to come by and shoot me a note, say hi, ask a question, whatever your heart desires. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and call this one done. So keep on creating, making, and doing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Sorry about the doubled audio there. I forgot to turn off desktop audio. Okay, have a good day. Bye.